And hello everyone, welcome to this video. So last video we are talking about the Newton-Raphson method. So that's a very high level way of looking at SpiceSharp. Now of course, the general idea is that as we add components to our circuit or flow diagram, for my case is a flow diagram, we have to start constructing matrices. Okay, first and foremost the Jacobian, which is this very long matrix of partial derivatives, and of course that is also called the Y matrix. So every time we see my Y matrix, it's actually referring to the Jacobian, and then everything else on the right hand side is this minus fx and Jacobian of x into with the dot product with the or is this a scalar product or something like that, inner product, inner product with this x vector right here. Okay, so that's both of them together, the y vector here times this, so that's the whole thing right there. Now this is the part where we start forming our matrix. So this system of equations actually forms our matrix. Okay, so what actually solves the matrix? Okay, so the part of the source code where we actually solve the matrix is within Algebra. Okay, Algebra is where the matrix and vector classes are actually defined. Okay, all of them they are done using all of these matrices are defined using interfaces. Okay, this is definitely something more C# programming kind of a thing. So these solvers they have inputs and outputs just like a lot of the C# .NET stuff. We use interfaces to help simplify things, interfaces and implementations. This is a very computer science thing. You can see there's inheritance right here. A lot of these things here are documentation, which actually helps to generate, I think, some of these files right here. All these are documentation files. All the comments that are generated here, I believe these are done using these are done using these comments right here. This is using the doxygen document generator for XML documentation. So that's what all this code here is for. So this actually specifies all the data and the inputs, outputs that the set of classes which is supposed to implement this interface. That's what it's supposed to do. That's why there's this iSolver parameter collection right here. So kudos to Savon. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name again, but kudos to him too for actually thinking of how to do this thing properly. Again, here we have LU, dense and sparse matrix solvers. Those actually solve the matrix. They actually solve the matrix once we actually define what all these Jacobian values are, and that's okay, that's fine already. That actually helps to define all our Jacobian values. Okay, oops, I'll close this. It should be here. So this is actually solving the matrix once we form our Y matrix, which is our Jacobian and our right hand side. Okay, the rest of the things we can actually, I'm still like exploring. Okay, but this is what actually we need to look out for. Okay, the whole SpiceSharp thing actually, as stated here, actually revolves around entities, behaviors, and simulations. Okay, entities right here, these are not the same as entity framework core. Okay, but in a sense, the what do you call that? The components and stuff, they are all sort of categorized under the entities. Simulation, actually, the simulation interfaces actually help to run the simulation. Okay, and the I at the front always talks about how this these are talking about interfaces. So interfaces, again, they are just sets of inputs and outputs that help help us interact with a class or an object. Okay, and yeah, it's helping the dependency inversion thing, but I won't go too much into that. But yeah, entity is where we sort of create components. I think simulation actually helps us to iterate everything to the steady state, or in a transient case, a transient simulation. Behavior classes or behaviors actually talks about how how the matrix is actually changing over time. You can take a look over here as to what these things are. Okay, so when running a simulation, the simulation will ask for an entity to create behaviors for the simulation. Okay, what are behaviors then? Okay, behaviors implement specific part of algorithm and specific to entity. Again, very abstract. Okay, transient simulation requires several types of behavior that someone might want to implement. Okay, eye temperature behavior describes a method that tells the behavior the temperature might have changed. IBiasing behaviors are methods that are called each iteration in order to build up the Y matrix and right hand side vectors. So this biasing behavior, this actually helps us to define how our matrices are being formed. Okay, where is how our matrices are being formed. All of this code, they will be written under the category of the IBiasing behavior. Okay, IBiasing behavior. Okay, the rest of these two are basically, whether we should iterate a new thing. Is a convergence behavior and time behavior. Okay, time behavior gets called when it's okay to make time dependent states that can be integrated. This one's like I think at the moment it looks like it's a more for transient simulation. So don't hold me to that first. But that's what it looks like at the moment. Okay, so at this moment, that's all I can kind of see. By reading the documentation here, it says that main job of entity is to create behaviors for simulation, at which point they're allowed to search for other entities which they are linked to, like mutual inductors, search for its inductors, or a component instance that search for a model. Each entity has a name that contains parameters. So I guess you store your components here. In all spice-based simulation simulators, a distinction is made between instances and models. Both are considered entities in SpiceSharp. However, instance entities will ask for the simulation of the model by using the model's names, allowing the model behaviors to be created first by model entity. No idea what that means at the moment. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm just going to write down things as I find them out. Okay, matrix solvers, let's see where they are found. Okay, these are found under here. Okay, I'll just put the URL. Okay, they are found under this website. So once we have our Jacobians, the matrix solver takes care of the rest. So yeah, this is where they sort of get the inverse and do all the hard work for us. Most of this the inversing part is where these solvers actually takes care of it. Yeah. So the inversion of the Jacobian and matrix multiplication, okay, Jacobian or Y matrix. Okay, once you actually formulate them, are taken care of by these solvers. Okay. So that's the part And as we just found out, okay, I think I can close this. We just found out that all of these things are pretty important to the SpiceSharp. And yeah, entities, okay, the simulation interface is actually taken care of by iSimulation. Okay, so part, okay, this part is a simulation algorithm. Okay, this is taken care of by iSimulation. Okay, so where this one we can actually see from here. Okay, and of course I'm going to look for this iSimulation over here. So this is the simulation part. This is the simulation part. Okay, this is the where the simulations are, SpiceSharp simulations. URL. So this is what takes care of the time steps and everything. Okay, so oh, then most importantly, of course, how are the matrices constructed? Okay, so I'll put the part here. Part. How are matrices constructed? So we can actually take a look at this structure and flow. We'll put the URL here, and the matrix, the Y matrix. This is the Jacobian, and the RHS matrix. Where's the RHS matrix? Okay, RHS matrix is all of these things here. Okay, so this is the, let's bold this, minus f of x. Okay, and then of course I will put the so-called power of k, but this is just the kth iteration, plus the Jacobian of, okay, let me take a look what this looks like first. Okay, maybe this is better. Okay, maybe I'll try to figure out how to do the bolding properly in equations. But yeah, this the idea is that this kind of matrix, it's constructed like that. Okay. Okay, so this right hand side is over here. Now, where are these constructed? These are constructed, okay, in this IBiasing behavior. Okay, let me put this down here first. Okay, this is done in the IBiasing behavior. Okay, as you can see, this is contains methods that are called in each iteration in order to build up the Y matrix and the right hand side vector. Okay, so I'm going to do another URL. Okay, IBiasing behavior. Okay, and I'll just say it contains methods, and I'll put them in quotation marks because this is not my content. Okay, so this is the IBiasing behavior where we start to construct the matrix. Okay, and because this biasing behavior is important for us to understand how to implement our own equations. You better study it well. So let's take a look at the biasing behavior. Where is it found? Okay, as of the last time I searched, I think it was found under simulation and behaviors. You can see that behavior is over here. Behavior. This is one of the first things that you kind of sort of what do you call it? Inherit from. And I believe simulations is one. So behaviors is found here. So I'll just keep putting this down. Behavior is found here. URL. Okay, the biasing behavior, I believe they are found under entities. Okay, they're not. Components, I think. Parameters or components. Let's see. Components, yes. Components each will have an biasing behavior. So look at common. Oh, this is branch behavior. Current sources. Okay, now this is where the biasing behavior is implemented. Okay, public partial class biasing behavior, biasing behavior. So this one is actually, it's done here. Okay, SpiceSharp simulations behavior based biasing, biasing behavior. So this is where your biasing behavior is loaded. Found here. Maybe I'll just use this one because the URL is shorter. So this is where you find the biasing behavior. So biasing behavior is right here. Okay, and where are these biasing behaviors done? Well, this is one example. Okay, and you can see how these biasing things are done. I'm not really sure where the iterations are. But you can see void biasing behavior.load. Okay, we have some value that's a double time domain analysis. If method not equals to null, use the waveform if possible. Okay, ACDC value value times equals parameters parallel multiplier. Okay. Yeah, looks like that's where the biasing behavior is supposed to be. Again, I don't see where is all the. Yeah, I don't exactly see where all these how the Jacobian is constructed explicitly, but it's supposed to be constructed somewhere here. Okay, again, I don't know where, but it's supposed to be constructed somewhere here. So source is current sources. Okay, yeah, of course we can look for other components such as switches, semiconductors, RLC, common, so on and so forth. Okay, but yeah, we found the interface where it's supposed to be responsible for the biasing behavior, and that's why we have the void load kind of a thing going on. Okay, so yeah, anyway, this is the biasing behavior part. So biasing behavior inherits from behavior, and it's supposed to just have this load thing going on. And behavior actually it actually inherits from parameter set collection. Okay, parameter set collection is a collection of parameter sets or parameter. So you see, there's an enumerable here that's called parameter sets, and then you kind of just have a get method for this enumerable. Okay, parameter set is here. So let's take a look for parameter set. You can have a set parameter, try set parameter, get parameter, try get property, all of these other things here. So yeah, you see there's a lot of inheritance for the interfaces, and classes I think should not inherit too much, but I mean they can if you want. Yeah. So yeah, we found out where the IBiasing behavior and everything is, how the matrix is sort of theoretically being set up, which part of the code we should look to for these things. And I think that's it for now. I'm not going to explore this on video, okay, because yeah, and when my idea of things get more when it gets more clear, I will actually upload more. But yeah, IBiasing behavior is definitely what we should look for, and a lot of the biasing behaviors, okay, the biasing behaviors, which is how the matrix is constructed, this is what actually we should actually look at it. Yeah, we should actually look at these biasing behaviors when we talk about how Jacobians are constructed. Okay, I think that's enough for now. I'll see you again.